The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills should be headed for cancellation instead of a revamp. It did feature the addition of Bozoma St. John, which was a welcome distraction from some of the more tedious storylines. Kyle Richards' marriage continued to crumble, and Dorit Kemsley's split from PK became her entire storyline, which didn't seem to faze Sutton Strack. Even the reunion didn't provide juicy revelations. The closest we got was Garcelle Beauvais finally realizing Sutton wasn't who she thought she was, and the letter PK sent in to have Andy Cohen read instead of him attending the taping. Rumors are churning, suggesting a revamp is necessary, but it's not. A complete overhaul couldn't save this franchise. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is a franchise focusing on actual marriages among the cast. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky were solid for several seasons, until they weren't. Dorit Kemsley and PK ended their marriage, and the other women are all unattached, save for Kathy Hilton. Gone are the days of watching the couples at parties, and the spats that come with the drama on Housewives. All that remains are single women or nearly single women, focused on one-upping the others in their group. Let's be honest here, the Fox Force 5 is a thing of the past. The other group members lost their appeal without Lisa Rinna and Teddy Mellencamp to spearhead the drama and set up targets, puppygate anyone. Kyle Richards, Erika Jayne, and Dorit Kemsley remained on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14. Without Teddy or Lisa, there wasn't plotting and stirring the pot. The Fox Force 5 were a force. Since Teddy and Lisa are no longer filming, it isn't the same. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills revamp isn't feasible. Bravo attempted to revamp The Real Housewives of New York, and the new cast hasn't caught on as it should have. It won't work for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills either. Kyle Richards and Kim Richards were the anchors in the beginning. They were rich and famous, with money to throw around, which particularly caught viewers' attention. Beverly Hills is all about shopping and glamour. The dinner parties, charity events, fashion events, and more were huge draws for viewers who wanted an inside look at what happened among the rich. Who could Bravo even tap to star in a revamp, or dare we call it a reboot version? Recreating the chemistry and history with a new cast would be nearly impossible. Even changing out some of the women will not improve the chaos and messiness that Season 14 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills left behind. Canceling The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the only option. After over a decade on Bravo, it's time for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to end. There isn't a story left to tell, and it wouldn't be filmed if something happened between Kyle Richards and Morgan Wade. Garcelle Beauvais isn't returning, which leaves Sutton Strack on her own against the other women. Dorit Kemsley and Erika Jayne would likely return for the paycheck, but is anyone really interested in watching them? Aside from Dorit and PK's impending divorce, there isn't much to film. Letting the series end with Garcelle's exit and the chaos that was thrown together is the only way. Bravo will likely give The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills another shot to capitalize on Dorit and PK, despite the lack of interest. Season 15 wouldn't be surprising, but it would be a waste of time. For over a decade, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has brought glitz, glamour, and a revolving door of diamonds and drama to our screens. Once heralded as a frothy peek into the lives of California's elite, RHOBH was reality TV's glittering jewel, a cocktail of designer handbags, Botox-laced blowouts, and shrill dinner party disasters. But the sparkle has dulled. The diamonds have cracked. The latest promise of a revamp feels more like spraying perfume on a corpse. Instead of retooling this increasingly lifeless franchise, Bravo should consider giving it a dignified exit. Let RHOBH go out, not with a bang, not with a whimper, but with an overdue acknowledgement that its time has passed. Let's start with the obvious. The show isn't fun anymore. Reality TV thrives on the delicate balance between escapism and relatability. At its best, RHOBH gave viewers both: a voyeuristic peek into Malibu mansions and private jets, paired with messy, human emotions that cut through the champagne. Lisa Vanderpump's dry British wit, Kyle Richards' insecure vulnerability, And even Brandi Glanville's chaos once felt like authentic, if heightened, human drama. But in recent seasons, that formula has collapsed. Storylines are increasingly contrived, cast chemistry feels forced, and every season is marred by a never-ending cycle of gaslighting, deflection, and weaponized trauma. What once felt juicy now feels exhausting. The show has devolved into what many fans refer to as Trauma Olympics. Every cast member must now bring a harrowing backstory or be accused of having no storyline. Mental health, alcoholism, eating disorders. These are weighty subjects deserving of real sensitivity, not used as plot armor in an attempt to out-victim one another at a wine tasting in Ojai. This shift from playful drama to deeply uncomfortable emotional exploitation has made RHOBH less of a guilty pleasure and more of a slow-motion car crash viewers feel guilty for watching. Moreover, the cast revamp approach, replacing one wealthy woman with another, has become a tired band-aid. Swapping out Sutton for Crystal or Rinna for Annemarie doesn't solve the underlying problem. The formula is broken. New cast members are either too media-savvy to be authentic or too aware of the Bravo machine to take any real risks. The result? Wooden conversations, fake fights, and scenes that feel more like bad improv than spontaneous reality. One might argue that every long-running show deserves a chance to reinvent itself, and Bravo is certainly banking on nostalgia to fuel a comeback. But reinvention only works when there's something left to build on. ROB8 has stripped itself so bare, so neutered of joy and surprise, that what's left is just rote repetition. Fancy dinner party, conflict teased over 3 episodes, group trip where one person refuses to get out of bed, tearful reunion, rinse, repeat. Behind the scenes, the production has become equally formulaic. Cast members are micromanaged to stay on brand. Confessionals are too tightly scripted, and the editing has begun to insult the intelligence of its loyal fan base. Gone are the days when a spontaneous remark could define a season. Remember you stole my goddamn house. Today's drama feels manufactured in a boardroom, not born from any genuine moment. The show's relationship to wealth has also become problematic in a post-pandemic, income gap spotlighted world. There was a time when the luxury on display was aspirational, but now ROBA exists in a strange liminal space where it flaunts opulence without any sense of self-awareness. Watching women argue over the shade of their Hermes bags while the country grapples with inflation and housing crises feels tone-deaf at best, dystopian at worst. The show has failed to evolve with the world around it, and instead of reflecting on its place in culture, it doubles down on oblivious excess. More importantly, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills no longer reflects Beverly Hills or reality. The show once promised an inside look at the exclusive, cloistered world of LA's most privileged zip code. But most of the current cast doesn't even live in Beverly Hills anymore. From Encino to Malibu to Bel Air, the geographic identity has become meaningless. What's more, the show isn't showcasing the diversity or complexity of the city's culture. Its cast remains frustratingly homogeneous, rarely stepping outside the insulated world of white, wealthy, semi-famous socialites. A revamp can't fix that unless it fundamentally reimagines what it means to be a housewife in 2025. And by then, are we even still making shows called Housewives?